Very often, when people ask how to block projects made with acrylic yarn, the first answer they get is that acrylic yarn can't be blocked. Can't be done, don't bother, it'll always look the way it looks fresh off the needles. And then almost invariably, the second answer is that while acrylic yarn can't be blocked, it can be steamed, and this is almost the same. Both of these statements are false. Acrylic absolutely can be wet blocked, and in fact, most projects made with acrylic yarn probably should be wet blocked. Let me show you. I have some examples here for both knit and crochet. This first one is a knit sweater with a lot of different textures. This panel has been wet blocked, and as you can see, it's laying nice and flat. The texture is even, there's no odd wrinkling or buckling of the fabric, and the edges are nice and straight. By comparison, here's a panel that hasn't been wet blocked yet. You can see that the texture looks much more rumpled and uneven. It doesn't want to lay flat. It's not draping as nicely. And if you were to measure it, you would see that the dimensions, both width and height, are not as consistent as they are on the panel that has already been wet blocked. Here's a crochet example that also has a lot of texture and dimensionality. You can see that the one that's been wet blocked is laying flat. It's the correct shape and size, but the ridges and bobbles are still standing out from the surface of the fabric. The one that has not been blocked yet is obviously wrinkled. The edges are turning under. It will not lay flat. It's buckling oddly. It's just not ready to be seamed in this state. It really should be wet blocked first. But here's the really interesting thing. Both of these squares were machine washed and dried. So even after being tumble dried and not being blocked flat again, this square that was wet blocked once is still maintaining the correct shape and size and not buckling up like this one is. This is a granny square cardigan that hasn't been blocked yet. You can see the fabric is a little bit bulky and stiff. It doesn't drape very nicely. So when it's worn, the fit is really awkward. This is a square, just a sample swatch made with the same yarn, same hook, same stitch. The only difference is that this one has been steamed, and you can see the drape is much improved. It's much softer. And if you compare side by side, you can actually see this one has grown significantly. It's a good bit bigger than it was when I started it, which is why it's so important to check your gauge before and after blocking, because it can have a really dramatic impact on the fit of your finished piece. So for one last side-by-side comparison, I have this sweater, which has been wet blocked, and this swatch, which has been steamed. Again, it's the same yarn, same needles, same cable pattern, but you can see that steaming has caused the cables to spread out and flatten in a way that I really didn't want for my finished project. In the wet blocked version, the cables are standing up from the fabric. There's a lot of dimensionality. In the swatch that has been steamed, they've flattened and spread out. So it's softer and it has more drape, but it's lost a lot of the thickness that I wanted the cable pattern to have, and the ribbing isn't drawing in the way it's supposed to. It's spread out quite a lot. So for that reason, I decided to wet block this project instead of steaming it. Wet blocking is a good option for projects with a lot of three-dimensional texture where you want to preserve the thickness and loft of the fabric while improving the evenness of the piece. Steam blocking is a better choice for projects that need a little bit more drape or where you want to open up the stitches, such as with a lace pattern. Just be sure to make a sample swatch first with the same yarn and stitch pattern, as while a piece that has been wet blocked can always be washed and blocked again, steam blocking is permanent and cannot be changed or reversed. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you soon.